Hey, what is up, everybody? Hopefully this is ready to go. Sorry I'm a bit late. As usual, I tend to start these extremely last minute. I just got back from my run, had a shower, quick snack, and we are ready to go. Okay, hopefully this is all working because I haven't had time to test it. Anyway, today we will be building the Endor Speeder Chase. I'm a day late for Star Wars Day, but you know, do what you got to do. This just arrived in the mail yesterday afternoon, so didn't have time to do it yesterday. Otherwise, I would have had I got it a bit earlier. But anyway, hopefully everybody did have a happy May the 4th, and we're just gonna jump right into it. How is this? Oh, these have. I also have the instructions up. Oh, actually, I was skipping ahead a little bit. Just seeing what we're going to do here. And I actually have no concrete plans. I have a vague idea. I think we'll just do it like Pursuit of Flight style. We'll have the speeders kind of strafe back and forth. But we'll see if we can make it maybe a little bit more interesting as well. And I'll probably build this a little bit out of order. I think I'll build the speeders first, just so that we can get a sense of how big they are. And I don't know, I might reference the physical instructions as we go, but we'll see. Oh yes, it is Revenge of the 5th, so we're still Star Wars themed. Where do we build the speeders? We build the speeders in bag 4. So we will just start with those. And let's not mess around. Might have to do some thinking on this one, so the quicker we can get the actual set built, the better. Caleb's in the house. Thought he was late. I was late. A couple minutes late, but you know, whatever. Sorry, I haven't looked at the chat yet. Hello from Syracuse. Oh, not that far away. Rich Hayes is back. I saw our Hamburg somewhere in the chat as well. Always a pleasure, my friend. $80 for 2 speeders and 2 trees. Yeah, it's pretty pricey for sure. I don't know if I would have bought it had I not wanted to do something motion related with it, but oh man, it's been so long since I've bought Star Wars sets. I didn't realize the trooper helmet has like black plastic on the inside. It's crazy. It's like dual plastic, black on the inside, white on the outside. That's man, it's been so long. Okay, what else are we doing here? Oh, we have some vegetation. We don't care about the vegetation right now. We will build some speeders. Ooh, 1x5 plates. Relatively new and fun. Hello from Netherlands. Excellent. Okay, I probably won't interact too much with the chat in the interest of time. I'll take a glance every once in a while, but if I ignore you, I apologize. Maybe towards the end, if things are going smoothly, I'll pay more attention. I'm small, I like to sort the pieces first. Yeah, it's soothing. I will not disagree with that. Though to be fair, I get enough sorting of Lego pieces in my regular day-to-day. Every time I take prototypes apart or, you know, work on a model, there inevitably is so much sorting involved. Okay, but it does make building quicker when it is sorted, because you don't have to hunt around for pieces. I'll give you that. That's why my collection is so well sorted. Because when I'm building something, I want to know If I know what piece I want, I just want to go get it. I don't want to spend any time hunting for it. Okay. Let's make sure I got... What? Oh my gosh. I already made a mistake. This is what happens when I try and rush things. Did I make a mistake? Oh yeah, I forgot. That was fine. I just skipped a step. Forgot some brackets. That'll happen. Everyone makes mistakes, don't rush, yeah. True that. True that. My heart rate's probably still spiked from my run, so probably a bit jittery. I already built that side. I need to build the other side. Oh, where the heck are the other angled ones of these? Okay, there we go. Oh my God, Davin Lee was forced to sing in front of the class. Embarrassed to death. Oh man. I mean, I guess if you like singing, that's fine, but yeah. I would definitely not enjoy that either. I'm a terrible singer. Any tea today? I do have tea today. It's in the cup right now. I just poured the water in. I don't even know. What did I get? I was in such a rush. Some kind of orange tea. It definitely smells very orangey. I'm sure it will be delicious. First time I see this set. It is brand new. Although I guess it's been, promoted over the last few weeks for May the 4th. Actually, it's probably been a month now, maybe, since it was first announced. It's in the same set as the, it goes along with all the diorama sets, which I have not bought all of them. Ooh, 1x3 rounded plates. I think these are the first of these that I have. Pretty cool. I love the 1x2 versions of them, so I'm sure I will make a lot of use of the 1x3s as well. But yeah, I haven't bought all the diorama sets. They're pretty pricey. They're like quite expensive. But I've bought a few of them. The Death Star trash compactor one we motorized on a stream, I guess, a year ago. I think I actually did that one May the 4th last year for Star Wars Day. So it's been a year. Are you building the normal set completely before modifying it? No. No, we're going to modify as we go. And in fact, I think I'll build, once I build the speeders, I'll build the mechanism. We'll build the mechanism first, and then we'll build the frame and the scenery around it, or at least try to. We might have to make a significant amount of modifications. It's hard to tell. Man, they really have a lot of steps in this these days. One piece, really? I could have put both of those in one step. Come on, guys. recreating my favorite mock in Brick Link Studio. That's fun. It's definitely much cheaper than building them in real life, that's for sure. Okay, what else we got? Oh, yeah, there it is. Definitely a lot of small parts in these speeders. Gotta up that piece count. Do you know the brown Lego pieces break easily? Oh yeah, I am well aware. I break brown pieces pretty regularly. Every time I take some model mock apart, we use brown. Broken so many brown pieces. It's a bit ridiculous. Oh, it's coming along. It's actually a pretty nice speeder. Oh, and we get the front. I wonder, what are the chances these speeders are the same? I'm guessing the front of them is going to be the same, so I'm just going to build 2 of these. If not, we'll take it apart. These are by far the best speeders Lego Star Wars has made. Yeah, they seem pretty detailed. I was actually contemplating. I have the very first speeders they designed from the 1999 wave, or the first wave. Actually, I don't know exactly when those speeders came out. The one with the Ewoks, and it had a speeder. I was thinking I should have built one of those for reference before this stream, but I ran out of time. I don't even know if I have all those pieces anymore, to be honest. But it would have been fun to compare and contrast. Maybe I'll do that after the stream and post like a how far we've come in 20 years post on Instagram or something. We'll see. Oh, Rushank Vlogs is back. The most original YouTuber. Great name. Okay. We got that. Oh yeah, and we got the foot pedals, which are pretty cool. It's a nice little detail. Hello. Why the heck they break easily though? Yeah, I mean it was a poor formulation of the ABS. They fixed it years ago, but obviously there's still so many brown pieces that were produced during the years where they had the issues that you know, I'm sure it'll be decades while people still complain about it. Oh, and we got our little hand controls here. Oh, so I think I put that one backwards. That's cool. Man, yeah, nice detail. All right, and then we connect it to the base, which we do not have, but that's fine. How is the dude supposed to sit in here? Can you actually hold on to the handles? Let's see. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. Oh, this hand needs to be rotated. Are you gonna add an Ewok village as an extension to the set? No. Probably not. No, actually, no. His hand was rotated right the first time. We're gonna make the speeders move. Does anybody watch Lego Marble Run videos? Yeah, I do. I finally watched, Crystal and I finally started watching Lego Masters New Zealand Season 2. And we just finished episode 7, which had the ridiculous large-scale marble run. Man, that was awesome. Okay, can't really hold on to the things very well. Oh, maybe it leans forward a bit. But whatever. Do I have my other camera set up? Well, kind of. Whoops. That is not what I wanted to do. There we go. Dude on speeder. Pretty awesome. Okay, speeder number 2. Any news about the Bricklink house? Oh, yeah, no, I haven't heard anything. Which leads me to believe that it's probably not going to be selected. But I am super curious to see. It should be soon when the Bricklink Designer Program sets are announced. I am looking forward to see which ones actually get selected. Okay, on to speeder number 2. I think it's slightly different, but clearly the core chassis looks pretty much the same. Aaron, I love your videos. Cheers. I appreciate that. Actually, this one's a bit simpler. Just a 2x3 brick in there. And then we got an ingot brick, plate, whatever, tile, a regular tile. These saddlebags are pretty much the same as on the other one. Why do I have... No, I need that one. Building a Unimog out of the Technic Ford Raptor. Oh yeah, that's cool. Whoops. Why did I just build that one exactly the same? There we go. Do you know the back rooms? Not off the top of my head. Okay. We get our meat cleavers. Everybody loves meat cleavers as details. Like cleaver piece. It's pretty fun. Terrible for wind drag though. I don't know if there's supposed to be some kind of air brake or not. Okay, and do the front again. I should have just built 2 of those fronts while I was at it. The instructions are clearly not very efficient. But I guess they gotta make it overly simplified so people don't get confused. Lord knows I make enough mistakes. So I guess it's not a bad thing that they're very verbose. It's an analog horror thing. Yeah, I'm definitely not familiar. Is the 1x3 rounded plate a new piece? Yeah, relatively new, as far as I know. Certainly the first ones I've gotten. And yeah, super excited about them as well. Well, maybe not super excited, but definitely excited. It's a nice little addition to the build palette. The set number from the set you are building. It's right in the title of this video. I don't even know. 75353. Oh, actually, and I lied. It's not in the title of the video. It's in the description, but nobody looks at the description. I guess I should have put it in the title. Okay, and we got our little front spoilers already built. Excellent. Need the foot pedals again. Well, they're clearly too low for minifigs to use. Completely unrealistic. And the handholds. Oh, I guess the minifigs for this speeder were in another bag. Okay. We got a couple speeders. All right, excellent. So we got leftovers. Okay, now I'm just gonna start. We're gonna go back to the start. I'm just gonna see how big the frame is here. So we'll start building the frame. Oh, Mr. M. LeBaron just transitioned out of his dark ages in the last couple of years. I feel like I've gotten to come back in the middle of LEGO releasing a ton of awesome new parts. Yeah. LEGO has been releasing new parts like crazy over the last few years. I guess it's one way to keep the products fresh. If they never come out with any new parts, then people could just build new sets from all the pieces they already have. So, not that a lot of people would do that these days. Okay, we're just going to build out the frame. And then I'll probably have to take it apart a little bit, but I just want to see how big it is to get a sense of what we'll be working with here. Where the heck the 2x3 plate went, but we can get it later. Forgot the round parts. Oh, on the top back, and the characters are on the wrong speeder. Yeah. Thanks. I'll go fix that. Thankfully, the chat keeps me on my toes. Always enjoy your streams as a relaxing bit of second screen content. Cool. Thanks for doing your thing. Cheers. That's awesome. Okay, so that's how big it is. Okay, yeah, I forgot the thingies on the back of this speeder. And I guess oh, right, yeah, I guess Luke and Leia need to both fit on this speeder, and the Stormtrooper just goes on this speeder. Or the Scout Trooper, sorry. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Get my When I turn his hands around, so I think it's better orientation. Might as well fill this out a little bit so that I don't have these pieces, mostly so I don't have these pieces taking up space on the build table, and so I don't lose them. I'd like to see your workshop. It was right behind me. There it is. I actually have a video. There's a couple videos that are pretty old on my channel. One is the old workshop, but I do a detailed review of it. Actually, I guess it's probably like 8 years old now. And I did a time lapse video of setting up this room, although it is quite a bit different than it was then. It is on my list to do another room tour, but okay, what is that for? Okay, we'll build that, sure. Might as well finish this bag. Whoops, I forgot the 1x2s that it explicitly told me to put on. And we got a lot of tiles. I do love me some good tiles. Do you rate mocks? Do I rate mocks? Not really. And some random jumper plates on the corner here for good measure. And then we have our ridiculous quote, which... Quick, jam the comm links! Center switch! Luke Skywalker. Everybody's most favorite memorable quote from Return of the Jedi. It's a bit ridiculous. Okay. So, we're gonna have this, and we're gonna... Now we're not gonna do any of the terrain. Or the trees yet. How do these get mounted? So, in theory... we got some speeder bikes, which go approximately like so. So I was going to do this Pursuit of Flight style. I actually don't even have a Pursuit of Flight together anywhere. So obviously we'll just have to build the mechanism from memory, but I'm sure I can. It would definitely be easier to mount them on grid like so, just because it's much easier to, and then, to line everything. So we could definitely do something like that. Or I could try and put them at an angle, would be kind of cool. We'll try and at an angle. We'll try and challenge ourselves a little bit here. The only real thing is the hole in the base for the supports might have to be a bit bigger because it's going to be off grid. But obviously we'll see what happens. How are these actually oriented? Yeah, so it's like this and this. So they're definitely like coming through the trees. I guess it might interfere with the trees. Oh, this one can definitely extend over the edge. So if I go there and there, okay. We'll see what happens. For the mechanism itself, I'm gonna build basically the whole mechanism at an angle to this base. So we'll build a base underneath this base, which has a mechanism which will be rotated from this base. Okay, so I'm just gonna start getting some pieces. We're just gonna build a mechanism. We're gonna need some Technic bricks and some other Technic bricks. No, actually, we'll get these Technic bricks. And we'll need some support things. Some of these things. Technic connectors. Okay. And some, I don't know how long. I guess we'll just use axles for now. And actually, I'm just going to so if we'll remember what the pursuit of flight mechanism is all about. We have some axles running through here. I need some 4 long axles. I might modify this just a little bit. Actually, I think I'll use... Just change my mind all the time here. So we're going to need a support system. Okay, so if we all remember what the pursuit of flight is like, it's basically like a trapezoidal arrangement of supports. And I've narrowed this quite a bit from the original pursuit of flight, so that as it goes from side to side, it also tilts. But, and then in theory, I can just mount the speeder on the top of this. And we can do some strafing side to side. Not sure if it's a big deal in Canada, but are you doing anything for the coronation tomorrow? I am not doing anything. Crystal and I are going camping today, and we'll be camping for the weekend. I mean, some people in Canada follow the royals quite a bit. Crystal and I do not. Okay, we need a way to drive that mechanism. Okay, and then we're going to need another one of these, because we have 2 speeders. And then we'll have to try and actually, in the end, I'm not even using any of these Technic bricks. Oh, but I might need them later, I guess. And I'm actually just going to beef this one up. Instead of using the single hole ones, I'm going to use the double hole ones, just so that oriented very well. Okay, we have one base for our speeders. Where are you camping this weekend? We're just going outside of Ottawa, not too far. There is a relatively newly opened climbing cliff. That it's easiest to canoe into. So we're gonna put the canoe on the car. We're gonna go. So actually only like an hour, a bit over an hour outside of Ottawa, but we're gonna go. Did I get another 4-long axle? I must have. Oh yeah, there it is. And then we're gonna go do some canoeing and some climbing. Bit dodgy. Two more 8-long axles. Okay, and 2 more of these. We'll adjust the height of these later, because we might have to adjust the height of these just after we build all the decorations into the base, because obviously the speeders have to clear the vegetation, but probably don't need them to be too high either. Oh, Carl is going camping as well down Point Pelee. Cool. I've actually never been to Point Pelee, even though I grew up in southern Ontario. It's not like... or southwestern Ontario, but... Okay. Okay. So how far apart do these need to be? So I need to somehow connect these, obviously. These need to be underneath, and then they should all be driven. Theoretically, by the same... They can be driven by the same... Actually, I think I'll mount these. It's a pretty cool area, yeah. I'm sure it is. Okay, we will. Actually, in order to keep this mechanism underneath the actual base, I might have to keep these on the inside. And it would also be nice to drive these from the same single drive axle, which might be difficult. Actually, let's get a crankshaft going so that we can see exactly how this drive system will work. Need a couple lift arms. Maybe we'll go friction pin. The speeders look cool. They do actually look cool. Okay, we're gonna get a lift arm as a crankshaft. Oh, do I have? I guess I'll just use the yellow ones. I have a lot of these yellow ones, even though I like the gray ones better. Gotta get more Technic bits. Hello from Melbourne, Australia. Wow. Cheers. And some bushings. All right, let's see if this is going to work. Oh, that's definitely too much. What is he building today? Today we're motorizing these speeders. Okay, so here we have our basic speeder bike with a crankshaft to strafe it back and forth. With a basic drive axle. So in theory, this will be mounted somehow underneath this base with the supports coming up through the bottom. And then in theory, we have the other one. Yeah, I guess I'll try and I should actually swap these two. Swap these two around so that my drive system is the same. And in theory, we'll do them in line, I guess. Actually, you know what? We won't do them in line. We'll offset them a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna change this one a bit. Trust me, bro. I'm gonna put the fixed anchor on this side. And the drive anchor on the right. And we'll see how that works out for us. Oh my God. It would help if I put it back together the right way. Okay, we got two. And we are going to try to join them together. Planning to use clear pieces to hold the speeder. Yeah, I think I can use like maybe clear antennas. I think there's clear lightsaber blades in this set, actually. I guess I don't need the instructions while I'm doing this. What Eternal said, aren't the beams a bit too long? Yeah, we won't worry about the beams right now. For now, we are just focusing on trying to get this prototyped out so that we can, so we need to space these somehow. Let's do like a mock-up of the spacing. How far apart do these need to be? So if we do something like that, that will be cool. Obviously, we don't want that to overhang the frame, but that's okay. We'll fix that later. In fact, we might fix that now. So we'll compact this down as much as we can. So I'll just probably want a 1x3 brick there, or 2x3 brick. Same with this, 2x3 brick. Actually, I will. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to connect these through the middle so that the force will bring the beams to the correct size. Indeed they will. Actually, I'll get a 6 wide. Really enjoy getting to watch the process of developing the mechanism. Yeah. It is clearly not that exciting because most of the time I just spend a lot of time trying different things. You know, that is the nature of prototyping stuff. Usually I just try and get something working and then we worry about how it actually looks. Okay, we're getting there. It's not too bad. I think these need to be a bit farther apart though. And then we also need a drive. Where'd my other left arm go? There it is. Friction pin. M. LeBaron, I honestly wish I got to see more of the trying different things rather than just the final build process. Yeah, for sure. It just doesn't make for very entertaining live streams, I guess. Okay. Okay, so now we need another crank to drive this one. actually, we'll go this way so that we'll get... Actually, I'm not sure how I'm going to drive this. I guess I could have a crank sticking out at an angle, but maybe we can try and get... I see. That's even better, actually. We can try and get... some kind of universal joint or something to... This drive axle will obviously be at an angle to the base, but if we put some bevel gears or something in there, we can probably make it come out the actual side of the base on grid so that the crank okay, excellent. Well, I need a 2x2 brick. This is what happens when you watch me work. Clearly can't think and talk at the same time, so. Indonesia right here. Wow. Indonesia, Singapore. Okay. Clearly this needs to be one longer. I need a 7 long axle for that. And I'm just hoping that the spacing will be right. I guess I can bring myself back on here. Although we get the instructions. Eventually we'll need the instructions again. Okay. Okay. We now have strafing, but we want to offset them a little bit, obviously. And let's test the spacing to see that these won't interfere with each other. Oh yeah, they're actually really far apart. They might actually be too far apart. Yeah, when I put them in here, we can probably bring them a bit closer together. That would also give us more room. To fit inside the constraints. So I'm actually going to take this off. We'll go 2 studs closer together. That means I'll need a 5 long axle instead of a 7. Could the battery fit inside the tree? No, definitely not. The trees aren't actually that big. I think they've got a 2x2 core, maybe. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. Okay, but obviously, so in theory, we'll have something like this, and the speeders will strafe back and forth. Obviously, they are a little bit high right now, but I mean, obviously, the base will be raised up like above all this mechanism, so we'll get there. But I'm actually gonna build the This plate's sticking out a little bit too far to the back, so we need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, I guess a 16. 6 by 16 would be good. I can just transfer this onto one. 6 by 16. And we'll stick it out the back. Okay. We should probably beef some of these connections up a little bit. Excellent. Okay, so in theory, we can mount our speeders exactly like so. And we'll actually see if we can actually... Can we transfer this to be on grid somehow? Everybody's got to use their trigonometry. Actually, that'd be pretty good, I think. Just like that. Although it does stick outside the base a little bit much. We'll see. Okay. I like how the first one falls. The first one, like they're dodging objects. The back one, I mean, yeah. Should be fairly easy to mount at a diagonal if you have the whole mechanism on a single plate, I think, yeah. You can skip the trig using studs in opposite corners. Yeah, it depends what angle I want to get it at, though. Yeah, in theory, actually, this is exactly 16 wide. So in theory, I can just, yeah, use the opposite corners so that this goes there and this goes there. And yeah, actually that is a pretty decent angle. I think it would be a little bit better to fit the mechanism if it wasn't, but whatever, beggars can't be choosers. We'll start with that. I think that's actually pretty decent. So yeah, we'll build this up. I think for now, I'm just going to build up this base, and then we'll mount the, I'll build up the mechanism base, and then we'll mount the set base on top of it. And then we'll worry about like decorating the underneath later. I might not even do it on the live stream, because it's going to be boring. But for now, we'll just try and get something to work. So I'm going to need to build this up a little bit. Actually, we'll get a 2x8. A couple 2x8 plates. We definitely need to raise this up a little bit so that so that the mechanism doesn't interfere. And actually, I mean, actually, if we want to stick in the base, I should actually get them closer together. Oh. This is what happens when, I think I can actually go, I mean, I could go 2 more studs together, but I think I'll just go 1 more stud closer together. That way we have a little bit more room to play with around the edges of the mechanism. You might be able to use opposite corners of 6x14 rectangle. So a total of 6x16. How do I fast forward the video? You can't because it's live. You can just come back later and watch it. If we stick it on a 16 by 8, then we get this angle. Yeah, and actually that I think will give us more room. So we'll actually put it on a 16 by 8, 8 by 16, and we'll also move it 1 stud in. Boring. I mean, nobody needs to watch this. If you don't like it, move on. I'm sure there's lots of super high-paced ADD videos out there for you to watch. Hold on, I'm just gonna go take a look-see. What's going on here? Okay, but yeah, we are going to, yeah, so again, this is what happens. Aren't you excited now? Okay, now we're on 8 by 16. We'll put it there. And yeah, I think we get a lot more clearance around the outside as well, so that none of the supports will interfere with the frame. It'll be really easy to mount now. We can just get a couple of hinge bricks to tie it into the existing frame. For example, we'll put one right there. And we'll put one right there. That way we'll be able to build it just like that. I do have this axle sticking out the back, which will need to go. I thought, oh, I'd be so smart, I'll use a 5.5 stud long axle with a stop, because these crank gears have odd lengths, but the stop makes it hard to beat. But really, all I need is I need a 1x3. And we'll put a half pin or half bushing. And then we still are going to need to drive it. So actually, I'm going to put, I need to drive it somehow. I'm just going to put a bevel gear here. And we'll just assume that we'll be able to somehow add another bevel gear at an angle to drive that. And hopefully we won't have to take it apart again. We shall see. Okay. Okay, so in theory, this will fit right in here. These hinge bricks will be aligned properly. Okay. So actually, we'll start to build a base underneath the base. I'm just gonna get some black hinge bricks. And we'll get a whole bunch of, how long is this? It's 8, 16, 24. So we're just gonna get a ton. Eight. Some 10s. So we're gonna build a base. And we'll just get a lot of 1x4 bricks. So we're gonna make this the same size. So in theory, that hinge brick will go right on. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll put that in the middle. So we'll go put that right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, let's go 10. So two by fours. Don't really understand the goal of this video. Well, we are going to be motorizing. Actually, I don't even know if we're going to be motorizing them or not, but we're going to be. We are modifying this set so that the speeders move. Exactly how the title makes it seem. So now I'm going to be, I need to build this base the same as the other base. Oh, actually, I think that's not at the right spot. It needs to be one here. We will fill in the gaps later. And then in theory, this should be hinged. Right there as well. Perfect. So now we are building out this part of the frame. And I'm just going to build a solid frame here. Even though at some point we're going to have to add some space to put the drive system in. But okay, so in theory we now have a square frame that matches the frame, the base of the set, with the mechanism mounted at an angle, so that the speeder bikes can move. Greetings from Russia. Cheers. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And to be honest, usually when I'm prototyping stuff, like this is the end of the prototype, because this at least is the proof of concept that it'll actually work. It'll actually, you know, I can mount the mechanism at an angle inside the existing frame of the set, and that's all it needs to do. But obviously we're going to continue. So now we need to stick some holes in this current set wherever the speeders are. And we'll also need to mount, in theory, we've got to bring this drive system in. So I'm going to get another 6 wide. Let's see how big we need this to be. We'll need to mount some kind of drive gear for this. That's a bit long to fit in there. So we'll put that in there. Greetings from Malaysia. Cheers. Are you going to use the power functions for the motor? Yeah, probably. It's just because that's what I use the most. And in theory, we could probably put a... I think we'll have to lift the frame. We'll have to lift the base high enough. You probably couldn't fit a power functions motor in, but you could probably fit a circuit cubes battery and motor inside the base. But for now, we're just going to expose a crank on the side and see how that works. Whenever I do anything like this, I always just manually... I start with manual control, just because it is easier. So in theory, if I mount a bevel gear, I guess you can't really see. So this bevel gear will be on grid, and in theory, I can just slide these to the appropriate distance so that they mesh. So this bevel gear that's on grid will mesh with this bevel gear that's at an angle, and they will be driven like so. So I think that's probably just half the bushing off. Circuit cubes, yes. I actually really like the circuit cubes. Motors, I've started using them quite a bit. It's a third-party control system. I actually made a couple. I didn't make any videos specifically about circuit cubes, but I've used them before in a bunch of models. If you look at the video for the flip walker, it uses circuit cubes. I hope you change the tree and make the leaves more. Yeah, we can add more leaves to the tree. I really want guidance from you to build the Academy for the Aspiring Scientist. Okay, so we stick a crank on the side. Oh man, yeah. It's awesome. Okay, so we have the mechanism is at an angle to the drive shaft here. So we can just but they mesh pretty nicely. Excellent. Oh, actually that plate that I added interferes with. I've got to move that down a little bit. Yeah, that's much better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 1x3 and a 1x2. Okay, so that's our basic frame is complete. We have an on-grid drive system, which drives the off-grid mechanism, which is all quite nice. It's actually pretty smooth. Circuit cubes looks neat. Yeah, I actually really like it. If you buy the, they call it the Bluetooth upgrade kit. It comes with the battery box, which can be, it can be a dumb battery box or a smart battery box. You can just turn it on. There's a switch, or you can control it with your smartphone. And it also comes with 2 qubit motors, which I think is probably the best value for your money. If the Academy doesn't get chosen by Bricklink, you should straight up sell the instructions. I know I'd buy them. M. LeBaron. Yeah, for sure. I'll try to make them available somehow, I guess. Okay, hopefully these don't interfere with the tree at all. Okay. But yeah, the Academy, obviously it would be nice if it actually made it through, but you know, we'll see. Okay. We are going to right now we're just going to build up the base in black because we'll worry about making it look pretty later. We're going to see what we need to do to... We're going to build up this base. One, 2, 3, 4, and a 6er. Need a 3, 4, and 3. 3, 4, 3. 2 more. So we just got to bring this up to a height that will clear the mechanism. And actually, I'm just going to pop these plates out of the interior of this. So this whole thing, in theory, will sit on top. so. Do I need to go one plate higher? Actually, I should be able to. Oh no, I need a plate and a tile. Mostly it needs to, this top of the mechanism. Okay, so I need we'll put and then we'll need a tile on top. Because these studs are obviously off-grid, if you actually have studs, they're not going to line up with the studs underneath the base. So we'll just put some tiles for it to sit on. And I think that'll be good, but we need a layer of plates on here. Another layer of plates on our subframe. I think that gap from the hinge bricks will be a touch tricky. Yeah. We will, again, that's something I think we'll worry about later. It actually won't be too bad. You can just put a cheese slope at an angle kind of thing. Or a panel piece. I mean, to get rid of most of the gap. There might still be a tiny little gap. Or we'll just... probably the easiest way to hide it is just to add some more decoration onto the base. We'll just put like a tile on the side beside it to cover up the hole. We'll just put some rando, you know, similarly how these are on the side of the top. We can carry some of the detailing on to the subframe. Okay, so in theory, I can just stick this right on there. And we're good to go. Obviously, it's quite a bit bigger than it used to be, but you know, it's and obviously it looks pretty ugly right now because it's just a black box, but that will be a problem for another day. So in theory, oh yeah, the center one of these can just fit in the way it was. So that's nice. And none of the supports interfere. Now, obviously these ones, I think these ones are mostly covered. We'll need to use some different sized plates. But yeah, like one tree is in this corner. One tree is in this corner, and then there's a lot of vegetation here. So, because I probably don't have a lot of plates in this dark flesh color, but... in the interim, I'm just going to use some dark tan for these corners. Oh, Pinwheel GBC is in the house. How's it going? And actually, I guess if we're going dark tan, I might as well just make the whole thing dark tan. It's a pretty decent color. Anyway. Robert James, maybe the 4th be with you on the 5th. Revenge of the 5th. Dang, I missed the most interesting part. Yeah, we have a mechanism that's mounted at an angle to the base, which is pretty awesome, I think. I mean, it's just the same mechanism as the Pursuit of Flight, but... Oh, Amla Baron Dark Tan also hurts my soul less than the Dark Flesh. Yeah, the Dark Flesh is an interesting color. I actually don't mind the color itself, but it does look like a kind of muddy red. You know, it actually makes an interesting dirt color in some regions of the world. What are you going to do now? None plates are perfect. Would it be possible to drive the shaft directly with a U-joint? Yes, you could. You could do it with a U-joint for sure. If I extended the axle out of the mechanism on this end, I could probably put a universal joint here and then have it come out here, but since the bevel gear drive is working well, we'll just leave it like that for now. I love using the bevel gears for angles, but I have to say it has failed me before. Yeah. I mean, you're probably making things that are under a lot of stress, which is always a challenge. This model should be pretty decent as far as load goes, so I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. Actually, before I put that on, I can see support going to be a bit of an issue here. So I'm actually just going to extend this tile and plate as well, so that our kind of floating base has a lot more support. And then we'll also I'm just going to take these off for now. They will kind of be in the way as we add vegetation, but if we go underneath here, we're also going to add some... I'm going to tie all these plates together so that maybe. Actually, I don't think we can tie those ones together. They interfere with the mechanism. Just so that our base is as strong as it can be. Okay, and then we're also going to try and get some we'll try and get some wedge plates. Something interfering here. There we go. Nice and smooth. Okay, we'll try and find some wedge plates. In theory, this angle is, I don't know. It's not really 45 degrees, but if we can find some, it's close to 45. Find some wedge plates, we can at least try and build up a little bit of the ground. Talking about putting it in a GBC and then running it all day. Yeah, it was in some stress. Yeah. I mean, most mechanisms will not survive well under stress. Period. So, you know, do what you can in the GBC world. Get a couple more of those wedge plates. And there might actually be a better way to there might be a more optimal way of hiding all these, but for now we're just gonna kind of wing it a little bit. And I'm not too concerned about building up the elevation of this at all, because I assume most of this is just like greenery and such. So if there's a few extra plates on the base, then that will be fine. At least I hope so anyway. Lego light bulb. What is a GBC? Oh my gosh. Great ball contraption. It's a system of moving balls around. You should look it up. Some really cool creations. I've built a couple modules, but they're more like concept modules than functional modules. Oh my god. Right above the mechanism. I just want to push you in. Why I want those studs aligned. Come on, you can do it. Or not. Why I gotta be like that? There'd definitely be a better way to do this. We'd be building the base first and then putting it on top. Okay. We have a base with some small holes in it. Nothing too crazy. Am I an engineer by trade? I did go to school for engineering. Most of my career was in software development though. Someday I will build a GBC module that is good enough to be put in production. Although the Man in the Machine, as a standalone model, if you run it slow, it actually is quite reliable. In the GBC module, I think 1 ball a second is just a little bit too fast for it. And Robot Dreams, well, that's a whole other ball of wax. Love the man in the machine. Our Hamburg. Cheers. Thanks. Okay. You know what? I think we're done the base. Now we can start following the instructions again. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, what is wrong with my reader? Okay, so now we gotta go all the way back to the top. Where are we? We did bag 1. Okay, now we're gonna see if we can try and get some of this terrain in here. Obviously, we'll have to make some adjustments. Pinwheel, I build a lot of modules that are slow for 1 ball per second. The trick is, I just doubled them up. Yeah, that is fair. I mean, you just put like a bypass as well, so when the balls overflow, they have another avenue of escape. I do like the dark green. And actually the dark green and dark tan look good. I guess the dark green and the dark flesh look pretty good too. But, oh man, I already put that on backwards. Oh, M. LeBaron's software development is what I'm studying right now. Cheers. I study all subjects in school. The terrain over the top might actually help lock the lower plates in place and allow you to take off your extra layer. Yeah. Yeah. That is true. That is true. If I were, spending more time on this, I mean, we'll see what happens, but, oh my gosh. I put this the wrong way and now I can't get it off. There we go. If I was making this as like an actual model of my own, I would like after this live stream is over, I would probably spend days and days tweaking how things are assembled. Man, these plates are really hard to get off now. I'd be tweaking how things are assembled to try and give like, optimize the part usage and such and such. I'm just gonna get a bunch of 1x2 plates. We're just gonna raise some of these up a little bit as well. And I think I guess I'll just wait until we're done putting the greenery on and then see what happens, see what things look like. Yarth Shind. Yatharth? Shind. Science, math, languages, life skills, computers. Yeah. I mean, you should learn as much as you can while you're young and can absorb all that information, because it doesn't get easier when you get older. I think you have that wedge on right already. Well, yeah. Nice thing about terrain, uneven plates are very welcome and can enhance the look. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about how all this actually looks in the end. We'll I'm sure it'll look awesome. But yeah, as somebody mentioned, if once I put all this greenery on, I maybe didn't need as many of those extra layer of tannin plates that I already added, but whatever. We'll just add them on top. See what it looks like. But yeah, I probably didn't need this 2x4 I had here, but now that it's there, I'm just gonna leave it. Great to see a proof of concept, though, as you called it, instead of your otherwise polished builds. Oh, Misla. Cheers, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, yeah. The polished builds usually take, you know, weeks of tweaking. I mean, not like solid weeks, but, you know, I'll like revisit models over time. And as I get different pieces, and like then I have to wait for bricklink orders to come in and all the right colors, etc., etc. So usually the prototypes come together pretty quickly, and then it usually takes a while to get things looking the way I want them to. Do I have dark green? I might need some more. I'll bring my dark green plates over. Might be some dark green plates in here. This container is overflowing, but dark green is such a good Lego color. Yeah, I tend to agree. I do. Why doesn't this go on? There we go. Oh, and then we got a bunch of random green flowers. This is going to be right. Oh, Jake's out of